Hey, what's up guys? Today I'll show you a supernatural horror film, She Creature. Spoiler ahead, watch out and take care. Somewhere in Ireland in the year 1905, Angus and his circus play a freak show to entertain the local people and make lots of money through the mermaid, which is actually impersonated by his wife, Lily. After the so-called reality show, however, a local rich old man gets mad at them after discovering the trick they play. To please the old man, they offer him a ride home, where the old man, as a sailor in the past for many years, begins to tell them the legendary mermaid people inhabiting on the said Forbidden Islands, who can actually take a human form during the full moon to seduce the passing sailors with their sexy body and hunt them for food. Angus, however, doesn't believe it's real and would rather treat it as some kind of serious joke. But before they're leaving, the old man leads them to a basement and reveals to them an actual mermaid, who he captured back in his sailing days and is locked in the water tank for many years. What's more, the old man keeps it alive in his place, despite its killing of his wife later. Angus is astonished by such a real and beautiful mermaid he's never seen. While coming back, Angus is haunted by his desires to use the mermaid as his freak show attraction. Unbeknownst to Lily, Angus and his colleagues sneak back and break into the old man's home for the mermaid during the night. But unfortunately, they get caught soon by the old man, who actually sensed their evil desire earlier in the day and tries to stop their theft by warning them of the mermaid curse. During the scuffle, however, the old man suddenly dies of a heart attack, allowing Angus and the crew to tranquilize the mermaid and smuggle her aboard their ship, heading for the United States. Knowing that the mermaid has ever caused the death of the old man's wife, Lily is thrilled about this idea, despite her husband's attempts to persuade her that he pays the old man for the mermaid and it's good for their future business in the United States. One day in their long journey at sea, Lily observes the mermaid and somehow senses some indescribable attractions to it. On her way back to her cabin, she happens to meet a sailor guy who knows her past as a prostitute and had disputes with her over the business. The guy confronts her and threatens to tell others. Lily is so scared by the threat that she subsequently gets a nightmare in which she dreams of her husband's getting killed by the mermaid. After being awakened up by the loud noises, she's astonished to find that the mermaid somehow escapes her tank and eats up the sailor guy. The captain catches the mermaid and vows to throw it into the sea, for he believes that living monster is actually a curse on the whole ship. Angus, however, buys off the captain later with cash checks and a promised shares of his business profits so as to keep the mermaid on this ship. While standing before the mermaid, Lily is horrified to see it spits out a ring belonging to that sailor guy, which seems to tell her that it knows her trouble and does a favor for her. That night, a frightened Lily confesses to her husband her prostitute past and her worries about the mermaid, who she believes can actually know her fear and hence help her out by killing the sailor guy. Angus, believing that's just her hallucination due to her seasickness, however, denies her proposal to set the mermaid free. While finding it hard to get rid of the mermaid's evil power in her mind, Lily checks the journal kept by the old man about the mermaid and learns that the mermaid did possess the power to read people's mind and take control of them by influencing their minds. She then challenges her husband again, but only finds that he abducted the mermaid from the old man and has already known all about its dangerous powers. Driven by the huge potential business profits, Angus still refuses to free the mermaid. Not long after that, under the influence of its telepathy, Lily is driven horny and wild during their fast hormone exercise, but almost kills her innocent husband. In fear and anger, Lily confronts the mermaid for what it did, and is terrified to notice that it even utters her husband's name. Worrying about her husband's life, Lily decides to send the mermaid back into the sea, while the mermaid is unwilling to leave, for it seems to have established some connections with Lily. Moments later, however, it's agitated by a coming circus guy, and eats him up in front of the astonished crew, before Angus tranquilizes the mermaid and locks it up. As Lily digs further into the journal, she's shocked by that the old man's wife even got pregnant due to the mermaid, and the same happens to herself as well when she finds herself pregnant, despite her sterility for a long time. She then goes to check the mermaid, but only finds that it's already evolved into a complete human form during the full moon. Lily tries to cover its naked body, but faints down due to her pregnancy. After regaining her consciousness, however, she finds it hard to make her husband believe her pregnancy, while the mermaid in its sexy human form begins to seduce the soul-lonely but hormone-loaded sailors, causing big chaos to the ship at the vast sea. The captain swears to kill the freak demon, believing that it drives every man of his crew crazy and makes him do things against his will. Although being stopped by Angus from killing the mermaid, the captain loses his mind finally and chooses to end his own life. The ship suffers a thunderstorm subsequently. To their all surprise, the remaining people later find that the ship has been led off course by the mermaid to somewhere unknown, which is later confirmed the legendary Forbidden Islands by Angus after checking the sailing logs on the journal. Right at that time, the mermaid, however, is under its further change and reveals its true monstrous form finally. It confronts the frightened Lily, but spares her life before it turns to attack other sailors and claims many lives of them. Realizing that the tranquilizers can't do any harm to the mermaid anymore, Angus heads for the captain's room to find some more powerful weapons, where he gets some bullets and reunites with Lily. She reminds them that the mermaid is the queen of the lair on the Forbidden Island, who tries to mislead people there to feed its people. While confronting the monster on the deck, another guy loses his life before he can fire out any bullets. The queen then charges at the remaining two, who have to run for life and take cover from its fierce attack before Angus runs out of the bullets soon and gets killed immediately. While confronting the helpless Lily, the Bloody Queen senses her maternity and finally spares her life and her unborn baby as well. After that, it throws all the dead bodies into the sea to feed the coming mermaid monsters, showing to them their real queen is coming back. 2 weeks later, the crew of a passing ship aboard the abandoned ship drifting somewhere and rescues the panicked Lily, who refuses to answer their questions out of respect for the Mermaid Queen. Lily is sent back to her hometown and gives birth to a daughter, who grows up many years later and bears a pair of strange red eyes, showing that she's half human and half mermaid. This is Daniel CC Movie Channel. Bye.